Hey friends, yes, finally another SR250 video here on the channel. I've updated the bike, done a few mods to it that I'm happy to share with you today. And let's start our ride down at the Anderson Ferry here in Cincinnati, Ohio, where the ferry takes us across the Ohio River to the Kentucky side. Heading across the Ohio River on the SR250, just done some cool stuff to it. Got these new tank badges, some new rear shocks, got a brand new battery. Stoked to get this little puppy back on the road. To the left is the city, so we're going to the right. So I'm really happy with the things that I've done to get the SR250 back on the road. And I've got a new battery in the bike, which it needed. The battery was completely flat from the last time I rode it. I tried to put it on a trickle charger and it wouldn't take any sort of charge, and maybe I could have monkeyed with it to resurrect it, but I just didn't feel that good about it. So I went ahead and got a new Parts Unlimited battery, and I got all the stuff I have right now from eBay, because I had around 250 bucks sitting in my PayPal account forever from old motorcycle parts that I had sold, and I wanted to just put that money back into the motorcycles. I'm being very budget conscious right now, but that 250 was sitting there, and I thought, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll let that go to the motorcycles. So the battery was only like 40 bucks. And good battery, and it came with the battery acid, which was wonderful, because otherwise I'd have to run out to the auto parts store and get a bunch of battery acid. So that was turnkey solution, got the bike going again. The next thing was I got these sweet tuning fork Yamaha logo tank badges. And I don't know, maybe paid as much as 10 bucks each for them. I don't think that much, but I knew I wanted them. They've got great adhesive on them apparently, and so I just eyeballed it, stuck them on the tank, and think that really elevates the look of the bike. It doesn't look like just generic bike right now. And then the last thing I got was some rear shocks, and I only paid around $65 for the rear shocks. And it's a chance when you buy something really cheap like that. And have to admit, I was disappointed when I first opened the package, because it certainly looked like they'd been opened before and returned. That in itself isn't horrible, but you wonder, okay, why didn't somebody else like these? And then I noticed on the package, well, not only was it a horrible translation, but it listed motorcycles I didn't recognize, but they were all like 100 and 125cc bikes. So really lightweight bikes these things were made for. And I thought, there's no way these are gonna work. And then pulled them out of the box and they looked really spindly, and so at that point I thought, I'm just gonna send them back. But then I thought, nope, 65 bucks, give them a go. Took them out to the garage, and side by side with the old SR250 shocks, the stock shocks, they weren't really that much more spindly, particularly the spring. I thought, okay, well this might be okay. And I purposely got these shocks an inch longer than the old ones, because I wanted the bike just to sit up a little bit more in the back end, have a little more flat profile, where it started out as a cruiser and it had these really short 11.5-inch rear shocks on it, eye to eye. I swapped it out for 12.5-inch shocks, and I am absolutely loving them. I just can't believe that it's made this much of an improvement. And do they absorb every single bump? Well, no, but they do take the edge off of every bump, and that's really, when you have this old school design, that's about the best you could hope for, I think. And it really points out how bad they were needed. So I love the fact that it sits up a little taller. It gives the attitude of the bike flatter. I feel more comfortable, genuinely more comfortable. It also, because it sits up in the back, before, when I would accelerate, it would kind of make me want to slope off of the back of the bike. I would slide backward. Looks like some people are swimming today. And so I realized now I carried a little tension in my body to pull myself forward. And now I don't have to do that. It's more comfortable in that regard. And then the shock absorbing qualities, when I first bounced up and down on these shocks, it felt like they were all spring, like there was no damping, and I thought, okay, this could just be a bouncy ride, but it's not. It works just fine. And are they some kind of $65 secret weapon that should, is really worth a lot more? No, probably not. They're just $65 shocks, but now, in comparison, I can tell that those stock shocks are probably worth about $5 at this point. So, money well spent. So 65 plus the 40, that's 105, and everything. If there was shipping involved, it was under 150 bucks. So I've got another 100 bucks laying around in PayPal that I can use on something. Another added benefit is I think the bike looks so much sharper now, and that has to be funny. I'm sure there's a mix of people that watch my YouTube channel that are motorcycle people, and they would totally get it when I put a little sticker on the side of the tank and then change the shocks from rusty chrome to black, and all of a sudden I see this transformation. Some people will see that, but then I'm sure other people are just like, I don't know what you're talking about, Jim, but that's good for you. Oh well, I hope I wish everything I did worked out as well as these little mods. Here pretty soon we'll cut up the hill here. We're over in northern Kentucky right now. We took the ferry over from the west side of Cincinnati over to northern Kentucky. Oh, we're gonna be behind a really slow trailer. Oh well, you'll have that. Because this road just dead ends actually before too long. And now we're heading up this hill toward the Cincinnati airport. It's actually what's called Cincinnati International Airport, but it's not in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's in Covington, Kentucky. It's known as CVG in the flying world. It's identified as CVG for Covington, Kentucky. And I forget, it's been here forever. It's still inside the Cincinnati outer loop, but the outer loop it's huge. It goes from Ohio clockwise into Kentucky, into Indiana, back into Ohio. Hey, the SR is puttering right up this hill really just fine today. I have to say, for a 40-year-old motorcycle, it's one of the best running bikes I've had. It starts, it idles, it does everything right. No weird little things that I'm having to work around. I am looking at a weird little thing right now that I haven't corrected. Somebody put this funky toggle switch on the triple clamp here to turn the headlight on and off. I'm guessing they were killing the battery and did that to try and save the battery. And when I was getting the bike running, I looked at it, And I'll be darned if it didn't just kind of confound me how they had that wired, and so I didn't mess with it and I've let it go. But that's something that has to be attended to here. So I need to attend to that wiring on the bike, and then I also need to just unhook, I think, that park setting on the key there, so that I'm not accidentally leaving any sort of lights on and running the batteries down again. Just little tiny refinements. I'll also give another big thumbs up to this Spitfire windshield. Oh, need to tighten a little bit. It's so funny, I forgot where this road came out. I, for a time, worked down that road, freelancing for an online retailer called Wayfair.com, where they sell furniture. I worked as a photographer, photographing furniture and room sets. More people out riding. This was the bush when I first moved here, the back country. Now they have roundabouts. Roundabouts and twin baby strollers. Good to see cars out on the road, people commuting, doing their thing. There is a different atmosphere now about being outside. I think we've all learned what it's going to take to deal with the social distancing and what we're comfortable with, and gonna make it a good summer, that's for sure. And tomorrow morning I'm really hoping to get a motorcycle ride in with a couple buddies, Tony and Joe, and we'll head out east on I'll be on the XT225. I think we're gonna head toward a place called Shawnee State Forest here in Ohio, down near Portsmouth, Ohio, right on the Ohio River, and do some gravel roads. Trails are not open yet, I don't think, but even if they were, they'd be under 3 feet of water. It would be a total mud fest. I actually enjoy riding in the mud, but I don't want to have to ride the dual sport 2 hours to get to a trail where I might get stuck and wrestle with it all day, and then ride 2 hours back home wearing 60 pounds of caked on mud. That's just, it's not the way to go. If we were trailering bikes, that would be cool. It's just amazing how these houses, and they've obviously been here for quite a while, but again, I still remember when there was nothing here. So I'm going back over 30 years. They just pop up out of the ground, seeds. Dude on a BMX bike. I've been thinking about getting a BMX bike. Listen to me talking about spending money. It ain't gonna happen. When I say it out loud, I realize it ain't gonna happen. I've got my mountain bike. I just need to ride that more. Oh well. These are the things that fill your head, I guess. I did subscribe to a couple motors. I subscribed to Cycle World magazine, I subscribed to Racer X magazine, and I subscribed to Thrasher Skater magazine, just to kind of take me back. I don't have as much patience for reading as I used to, but that's something I really, really want to work on. Those magazines used to be my life. I used to contribute to them, and now I was just kind of saddened to see. I was looking for BMX magazines, and I just don't think there's anything left. And it kind of, makes sense that the demographic whoever's riding BMX bikes now, and it's only a fraction of what it was when I was a kid, because it was a big deal. BMX in the early 80s was then what video games are now. It was a big deal. But the demographic, whoever's riding them now, isn't buying print magazines. Shocks feel so good, so much better. I'm gonna do a video pretty soon on semi-fails that I've done with the XT225. So today I'm all happy about this stuff I've done to this bike. I will give a little update on the XT225, probably. If I do a video tomorrow, I'll probably talk about it then. Hey, we're back on the road we were on, where we got off the Anderson Ferry. But I am loving the gearing on the XT225 that I changed. I had to do some little tweaking to the fork mods that I did, but I've got that where I want it. Love the rear tires, so that's all working out good. But I did some other things with it that didn't work out so good that I haven't shared yet, and I'll do a video on that. Sometimes you try stuff, sometimes it doesn't work, but everything I've done, I've tried to do it from a budget-conscious standpoint. Yes, share the road. I hope that this looks even half as beautiful on camera as it does to my eyes right now. The green and the blue and the puffy clouds. Like the opening of The Simpsons. That's what it always reminds me of. Here's a beautiful horse farm. Kind of what the rest of the nation associates with Kentucky horse farms. Alrighty, I'm out of here. This is just a super start to the weekend. It's Friday, early evening. Gonna ride a bit longer. Thanks so much for joining along. I hope you like what I've done to the bike. Let me know if you see a difference in what I'm talking about here. And it's definitely working better, so we'll catch up next time. If you like this video, please do give it a like. And I always ask, please consider subscribing. I'm putting out content when I can. Hoping to get back to work more and more as restrictions ease. But as long as I can, I'm going to keep making motorcycle videos and putting them on YouTube. So it's wonderful to have you along for the journey. Okay, see you in the next video. Hope you get out there and ride, and when you do, please do ride safe.